Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back in the Napoli. What? What are we doing in the Napoli? Well, you guys have asked for it, so here I am once again to provide you with a video in a ship that I just don't play very often. Now, I've had mixed reviews on the Napoli. I've had games where I've had really fun, or really good fun games. I've had games where I got absolutely neutered because this thing just has really flat armor at the center of the ship, which is the worst possible place to have really flat armor, especially when you're in essentially a super cruiser. Now, that being said, this one just so happens to be the unicorn. You know, not the ship itself, but this match. One of my favorite things that I ever get to do with World of Warships Legends is those days where you got a very specific video in mind, in this case the Napoli. You log on, you jump in the ship, you go out, and in the very first game you get the ship into a position where you're doing really well and the game is your video. Your very first game in the ship of the night is your video. That is my favorite thing in the world. Why? Because I'm lazy and I don't want to sit here for 5 hours trying to get one video. And that is usually the case when it comes to a game where I'm trying to get a very specific video. Not necessarily just a specific ship, but usually when I play these ships, I like to try to showcase the strengths and the weaknesses of the ships. And when I do that, it's not always about damage, but it's also nice to get damage because y'all don't want to sit here and watch me like run around and get 30,000 damage. Let's be real. But that being said, we have a pretty favorable matchup. There's a couple of battleships out there. Two of them are Vermonts. One of them is Johan. And we've got a couple of Des Moines out here, and a San Luis, and a Cardo. I mean, there's a lot of little things out here that could be a problem, but also could be absolutely juicy. Now, first shot out on the Des Moines sets the tempo for this match as we hit him for 21,000 damage at a sus angle. Now, of course, what you're about to see next is my RNG coming back to haunt me because, inevitably, oh my god, you can't do this. Did you not see what happened to the last guy? And he had a much better angle than you. But, nope, this time he gets away with it. I think he started moving forward and got just a little bit more distance between us, so most of those shells hit the water. But, yeah, this Des Moines is in trouble. Now, notice those torpedoes I sent out there. Pay attention to those torpedoes. We call these torpedoes the Italian sea mine torpedoes, and they are never necessarily, like, for one particular ship, okay? They're almost always sent out there as a to whom it may concern sort of deal. And the next ship that enters the fray is a San Luis, who is full broadside, going as fast as he can possibly go. We are going to slap the out of him with 3 citadels and 4 penetrations, and, just to top it all off, his ineptitude catches up to him. He really wanted to fight me, guys. Did he get what he wanted? I don't know. I feel like he did. I feel like he came all the way over here to fight me. He was all gung-ho. He got one whole salvo away and dead. From full health to no health in very short order. Eating torpedoes that took about 6 minutes to get to him. Obviously, that's being facetious, but they took a long time. Now, what we have next is both the Des Moines and the San Luis are dead, so that just leaves a second Des Moines out here. Now, this Des Moines has a different sort of game plan than I would necessarily be playing in a Des Moines. Personally, I feel like the Des Moines is an absolute busted cruiser and could absolutely go toe-to-toe with a Napoli at any given moment and beat the f out of a Napoli. However, this guy wants to turn and kite and spam HE the entire time, and to each their own, but hate to break it to you, Sunshine, the only way kiting works is if I chase. And I'll let you guys decide whether or not I'm going to chase this guy. Now, he's gotten pretty favorable RNG in terms of fire so far, but we're trying to get some shots into the like back area of the Des Moines. If you guys don't know, we may not overmatch him, but Des Moines has a very flat booty, like very flat booty. And this is something that a lot of ships from the British and the Americans have when it comes to their ship design. They have very flat backsides, which leaves you wide open for whether or not I actually overmatch. Doesn't matter. I usually have enough penetration to go through a flat piece of armor that's, you know, only 27mm thick. But anyway, we're trying to get the shots on. We're not getting the best results here, but we are going to go ahead and start kiting away from this guy. He's not a threat to me. He's not a threat to the team, really. I mean, he can spam HE at 20 kilometers if he wants, but I'm not going to chase him, right? But you can see I am trying to just put some distance between us. There's no reason for me to go here. I break contact. The battleship can break contact. He doesn't have to fire his guns necessarily. We're just kind of, again, measuring people up for some of those to whom it may concern. There's a bunch of ships heading in the same direction. We toss them out there because you never know. And we've got a beautiful look at broadsides of battleships. So we're going to make sure we aim a little bit higher. I don't think we have the penetration to go through the full belt armor of the Vermont and do significant damage. So you can see we get a shatter there, a couple of penetrations, a couple of overpins. It's one of those things where we're at a range where I don't know if I've got it, you know. And this comes down to inexperience with ships. This is why I always say to play everything. You know, play a little bit of everything, guys. There's no reason for you guys to just play one or two ships all the time. First of all, that's incredibly boring. Second of all, you don't learn a whole lot while you're doing that. You can learn how to play that ship and that ship alone, but it is nice to get out, play other ships, learn other classes, do all the things so that you can put yourself in situations where when you're in any ship, you come up against an enemy and you know what they're capable of, right? We've talked about this all the time. Knowledge is power. Believe it or not, I know I say this a lot, and what you're about to witness next is me getting incredibly lucky. We talk about knowledge is power. We know there's a destroyer nearby. It's a Shimakaze, and we got to be careful, but I wanted to get around this island, get another shot at this Vermont, potentially get it away with it. Torpedoes get spotted. They go dark, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to drive into torpedoes, so let's go ahead and turn out here and hope for the best. Now, Vermont takes a shot at us. Not really too worried about that. We get a beautiful shot into the side of that Vermont. Vermont, while it is scary, isn't really the scariest thing in the world. He shoots a lot of shells, but he very rarely shoots them. And oh my god, I just made the worst turn I could possibly make. Oh my... Please no. Oh my god. Doesn't get much closer than that, folks. That was a death strike waiting to happen. That would have been 2 Shima Torps minimum that I'd have took there. And right in the center of the ship would have been death. Period. No damage saturation going to save me in that situation. We had 51,000 hit points. He can do 23,000 maximum per torpedo. You do the math. It's close. It's very close. But either way, we've done everything that has been asked of us, right? We've managed to put ourselves in positions. If there's anything that I could have potentially done a little bit better in this one, would have been to probably be a little bit more aggressive, because the enemy kind of didn't do exactly what I thought they were going to do. They kind of just played around, and I could have probably gotten away with being a little bit more aggressive. Now here we see the Carls coming, so we're going to try to put ourselves in a position once again to throw some of these torpedoes out there. I'm expecting them maybe to slow down a little bit, but when you're launching these kind of torpedoes, just always launch them at the white line, because even if they do slow down, I mean, these torps take so freaking long to get anywhere. Des Moines fires his gun, thinking he's all safe and well and good. We go ahead and use our second smoke screen. We finish off the Des Moines, and now we have a beautiful look at the Carl Johan. And he can't see us because our smoke firing penalty is absolutely ridiculous at 7.6 kilometers. So I've got a full kilometer of concealment to sit here in the smoke, and he's actually moving away from us, which is perfect. Don't forget, we did launch those torpedoes out there, so that if they get there, there's a chance that he runs into those as well. Our goal here is to aim high. Johan gets absolutely neutered, and then, of course, our guns do the rest. That leaves just the Vermont and the Shimakaze. The Shimakaze is currently being beat up on the right side. Unfortunately, he does kill our Johan in the process, but there are 2 destroyers pushing up on a Shima, so that should be the end of the Shima. Now, at this point, it's just me and a Vermont. And I say just me and a Vermont. There's also another cruiser and another battleship out here, too. So it's not just me. It's me and 2 others versus this Vermont. But I'm in a very favorable angle here. You can see I'm trying... I'm a lot closer now, so aiming a little lower isn't necessarily going to hurt me too much here, because I'm going to get full penetrations. So you can see I'm starting to aim at waterline. I don't know if I'm capable of citadeling the Vermont at this range, but we're going to try. And as you can see, we only get 2 hits, unfortunately. Firing the rear turret of justice. Look at that accuracy, though. But unfortunately, Bourgogne says hello and takes him down. But this was a fun match. It was actually really nice to jump in the Napoli and for once just go out and do Napoli things. I don't get that very often. But 7 Citadels, top of the leaderboard, 2,500 base XP with 3 kills. Just the most casual Napoli game you've ever seen. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Is there another ship that you guys are wanting me to play? punch it down in the comments. I can't guarantee it'll get done right away. This one was one of those that was commenting for like 2 or 3 weeks straight to play the Napoli, so here we are. But I do try to get to it. And if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.